RuneScape's map is divided into a grid of chunks. Many players in recent years have taken to becoming chunk locked, never leaving one specific chunk until all possible tasks are complete. But not me. That's because, while I am a chunk based account, I've chosen to start at Mount Karuulm, where a very special Slayer Master resides. Konar is unique amongst Slayer Masters, is that she doesn't just tell you what to kill, but where. So come join me in an adventure where I am locked to my home base of Mount Karuulm, while also following Konar's every whim, as I smuggle items back, from temporary task chunks to enable me to take on Mount Karuulm's biggest challenge, the Alchemical Hydra. Welcome to the HydraChunk. Here we are, the HydraChunk. What is going to be my sort of temporary home for the next however long this takes. This is the very first clip I'm talking to you guys. The very first clip, and it's going to be rubbish because I'm just doing this off the cuff. But basically, I'll have a nice slick intro to explain everything. But from where I am right now, I have no idea whether what I'm about to do is even possible. So I've basically loaded up a month of membership. Oh, look, a star, that's nice to know. Just to see if I can even get started, because before anything can begin, I need to get from my puny level 3 existence all the way up to level 75 combat, just so Konar will even talk to me. So here she is when she loads in. Will you give me an assignment? No. Oh, we need the Slayer Master tutorial first. You'll need some practice first. Huh. Interesting. That makes it sound like you need to talk tutorial first before you can get a Slayer task from her? I don't think that's true. I don't have a problem going to make an exception to go talk tutorial first, since that's the entire premise of this account, but these stairs is where I'm going to be very familiar, because to get to that level 75 combat I will be flinching this bat. Now this bat, oh, I can hit, that's a good, that was the first test. Can I hit the bat? Yes. And then the next issue was is the bat going to kill me? Now, I found a flinching spot pretty much instantly, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. All that remains now is getting the stats that I need. So I'm going to start with a few attack levels, because my accuracy is going to be absolutely dire on this thing. Then switch to strength, obviously get some max hits in, and then hopefully, even though I don't have any equipment, I'll get a few defense levels, and I would assume I can go toe to toe with these things a bit more consistently. Of course, they'll drop bat bones every kill. I'll bury those, just because prayer is obviously important, but also prayer is going to give me free combat levels to get me to the target a bit faster. But as we can see, accuracy is pretty bad, so this is going to be some side monitor content going for me for the next month, 2 months, who knows. But here's my first journey. I'll get a few levels here, and then we'll go on a quick tour of the chunk. Oh, how naive I was in that early clip. But anyway, let's check in with the bat flinching, shall we? This is why we play RuneScape, right? Come on, one more hit. Give me that dopamine. I need to see number go up. Oh, nearly hit me back there. It can hit up to 3, so I'm not that worried. I'd have to mess up really bad to have this bat actually kill me. I was a bit worried about the level difference being level 27, but nah, I'll be fine. Look at this. The second I start recording, I swear I hit 2 in a row one time. And yes, this is the same bat. There we go! 2 attack. Awesome. And before I could even get 3 attack, we have the first random event, Evil Bob. So it looks like I'm going to get some free fishing levels, which I don't really need for any reason, but it's nice to have. Let's just feed this thing to Bob. He falls asleep. Let's get out of here. Shame I can't keep the net. I always thought that'd be nice to get a fishing tool, but it takes it right off you. And 7 fishing, so a few nice total levels. And my bat is trying to leave. No, come back here. Not the random I really was hoping for. I need a lot of lamps, which I'll go into in a little bit, but yeah, it's the random we got. And here's level 5 attack coming in. We're not quite killed the first bat yet, but we're getting there. I think I might switch to strength. One more hit. One more hit. It just doesn't happen. One more hit. No, it recovers health. No. This time for sure. This time for sure. You see what my life has become? I've spent 90 minutes on this one bat. But it'll all be worth it. This time for sure. The XP drop is teasing me. No? Really? Come on. Yes! No, and it recovers again! It's like climbing up a constantly moving escalator with this bat. Just die! I want my bones, I want my prayer XP. Oh no! Okay, this next time for sure. If it doesn't hit this time, I'm just ending the clip and we don't get to see it die. Okay, bye. I don't believe it. It's on 2 again. It's going back up. I cannot kill this bat. And it's done. It's dead. Here are the bat bones. 90 minutes, well spent. 4 prayer XP. Oh my god, 5. Oh, a bat bone's 5. That's actually quite nice. And then I've got nothing to do until it respawns, though I guess I could tag this one. I'll probably stick to bullying the same bat the whole time. Okay, so while Pasmi continues to lose his mind, let's do a rundown of all the tasks I need to complete here. My map has a total of 85 tasks. That's a bit daunting, so let's break it down. For a start, we have to kill one of every monster. That ranges from the giant bat, which we can already tick off now, through to the Alchemical Hydra, all the way at 95 Slayer. The immediate task in front of us is 75 Combat. That's the combat level where Konar will start giving us tasks. For skills, I opted to complete Druidic Ritual and Rune Mysteries as part of my account setup. Because of this, I gained a 75 Herblore task to clean Torstals, but access to potions is going to be key to overcoming the harder parts of this challenge, so it's a price I'm willing to pay. If you're wondering why I was so keen to unlock access to runecrafting, it's because I'm stupid. We're just going to have to live with that. We also have 85 smithing to smelt a rune bar. The combination of the furnace plus enemies which drop tin and copper ore means I will have my hands full figuring out just how to handle this grind. For gear based tasks, we have the Dragon Sword, the Addy Warhammer, a few rune pieces, and a selection of Slayer gear from Konar's shop. So far so good, but here come the big ones. In the dungeon below us, we have Fire Giants, so let's add a long and curved bone grind to our tasks. We also have Hellhounds, and you know what that means. The Smouldering Stone at an eye-watering 1 out of 32,000 drop rate. worms, drakes and hydras all have Slayer collection logs to fill in. The Dragon Harpoon and the Drake's Tooth and Claw. Of course the Alchemical Hydra is in there too, with tasks for every collection log, pet and jar included, as well as all of the combat achievements. And finally, to top it off, we have Konar's chest. Every Slayer task she assigns can drop brimstone keys, giving access to powerful supplies. Importantly for us, it also has the full Dusk Mystic set to collect, as well as the Broken Dragon Hasta. Phew, I told you that was a lot of tasks. Now, if you've seen much chunk content before, you might be yelling at the screen, "You can't do all those tasks, you'll be Slayer locked immediately." And you'd be right. But as I said in the introduction, this series is going to be a little bit different. So what makes this account different? Well, when Konar gives me a Slayer task, I'll be allowing myself to go to the chunk she tells me and temporarily unlock it for the duration of the Slayer task. While I'm there, I can leverage everything available in that chunk. That includes other monsters, resources and shops. The catch is, once my Slayer task ends, I have to return immediately. I'll have to choose my setup carefully, only allowing myself to smuggle back what I can wear and carry in a single inventory each task. No ferrying items indefinitely. If I can't bring it with me, it has to be left behind. I understand this makes me not a true chunker, but I hope it's going to be a fun ride, no matter what you classify this account as. Here's the random event we want to see. It is a genie and my first lamp. And what I'm going to start lamping is agility. Well, there was the genie. Many random events give XP lamps, of course. Choosing what to lamp is always important on a chunk account. Because I am very stupid, I started lamping agility as we just saw, and got it all the way up to 12, then realising it doesn't help my account at all. Then I had a few misguided days where I thought lamping mining and woodcutting was the play, before eventually settling on hunter and crafting, with crafting as the immediate goal. I'll do a little summary of where my lamping got to at the end, but for now I'm not going to show every clip. Just know that at all times it's going on in the background. Let's check in at the bat flinching factory again, where I'm still losing my mind. I'm midway taking down the 4th bat, and Niles has just visited to give me 80 coins. So if I get a few more of those, I'll be able to buy my way to a steel spear. So, is steel 5? Yeah, so I've got 6 already. So as soon as that comes in, I'll be able to use a weapon which will speed this up quite a bit. So I got another lamp from Count Check, and that's gone straight onto agility, and I also got another evil bob, so my fishing is now level 10. And while both of those are nice, the random events I really want are money. So getting money to 230 will get me a steel spear. But there's a bit of a debate on which steel weapon I should be getting from the shop in general, because there's a spear, there is an axe, and there is a warhammer. Now the spear is the cheapest, it's also the fastest, but you can only train defensive or shared, so if you want to train attack and defense, they are a bit slower with the spear. The warhammer and the battle axe are both slow, but when we're flinching, speed doesn't really matter. But the problem with those is they're about twice the cost of a spear. So much so, in fact, that by the time you have enough to afford a steel warhammer, I nearly have enough to afford a mithril spear. So you think, okay, well, we'll just go straight to that one. Then the same debate happens there, and then it repeats again for the adamant tier. I think if it takes a while, the longer it takes without a weapon of any kind, the more miserable it's going to be. So I think as soon as I hit the minimum amount, I'm just going to switch to using a spear, and then think about what weapons to upgrade to a bit later. Yep, that's the plan. So, let's take a break and see what is actually in my chunk. Above ground, we have a mine with iron and coal, and we also have a furnace, but no anvil. Finally, we have the very useful weapon shop with a tantalising rune spear. Under Mount Karuulm, we have a dungeon filled with enemies. Unfortunately, until I get 44 Slayer, none of this is accessible, due to the hot floor damaging anyone who tries to walk on it. At 44 Slayer, I will be able to wear the boots of stone and open up this dungeon. Giant bat number 16 means we finally have enough bones to get prayer level 2. Oh yes, yes, finally! Finally, I've got the mysterious old man. Oh, I'm being attacked. I got the mysterious old man. Give me a little bit of money. I've had a fair few randoms since the last clip. We've got some toad flax. We've got more rubies. Mr. Dr. Jekyll gave me a potion that's in the bank. And I got some lore runes. But now we can finally go shopping. I would like a steel spear, 325. We have just enough. And let's see, we've gone from absolutely no bonuses to a lovely amount. 12 in all of the attack bonuses. They even come with some defense bonuses on spears. And some strength. So that will make hitting things a hell of a lot nicer. Where we're at currently is 21 on the attack. Just so I could, in case of a surprise mithril scimitar from a random, I would have that. But getting strength up to the point where I can hit 4s, even when I'm not on a strength style. And 5... my max hit is still a 4, which is a little disappointing. But I suppose the increased accuracy is the big gain here. So, yeah, and 5 defense just so we can wear any steel items we find. So that's the first thing, is getting that weapon. That's going to speed up things so much. But I will keep getting randoms, I will keep stacking up money, and hopefully we will be able to upgrade pretty soon. Just reaching the end of the 3rd day. Now we're able to actually go toe to toe with a bat. At least for a little while, and then my health gets low and I have to go back to flinching. But I'm hitting 5s. The gains have been crazy since I got the spear. The loot has been interesting. I've got a chocolate bar and a gold bar and a strange fruit and 5 emeralds, so... No more money. It's not been a good day for the money front, but, you know, we live and... I say we learn. There's nothing to learn. It's literally a random event. I can't influence it in any way. But all I can do is grind. Here's the stats. We are unfortunately having to train on controlled just because it's a spear, but that's fine. We're still making way more gains than I would have if this had been unarmed still. So yeah, happy with the progress. Oh my lord, I have just had my first Quizmaster and then RuneLite just crashed as I was doing it, and then I logged back in thinking I'd lost it, but no. If you log out during a random, you stay in the random, which is good. And then I was actually conflicted on whether I wanted to choose the 1,000 coins or the mystery box. The 1,000 coins would allow me to get either the mithril spear or the spiked helmet right now. But of course the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a steel plate body or a myth sim. So I'm hoping that me gambling will pay off. So let's see what we've got. And it's a bucket. Great. Great! Good evening. It has been 2 days since I turned down 1,000 coins. So I've had plenty of time to regret that choice. But now I've finally had a maze random, which has pushed me over the edge for 1,000 coins, and I can afford a new upgrade. So the debate is, do I go in here and buy a mithril spear, or do I go to Konar and buy the spiked helmet? Now usually in RuneScape DPS is king, the choice should be obvious, but what I'm thinking is that if I get a bit more of a defensive buffer, I will spend more time actually fighting the bats normally rather than flinching them, and so it will be worth, basically more defense will be more of a DPS upgrade than just a better weapon. That's what I'm thinking and what I'm hoping. So let's just go ahead and buy our spiny helmet. And I've also, I'm blinged out now. I got a gold necklace from Captain Arnav. I would have preferred some money, but we get what we get. And we're going to have a modest set of defensive bonuses there. And we're looking very fresh. We're looking great. So back to killing. Next time I get a bit more money, we can stack up and get that weapon upgrade, but for now I'm hoping this is the upgrade to go for, and it won't be too long before we can get things going. It's starting to snowball now. Less flinching, more hitting. We're nearly at base 40s for our attack, strength, defense. We're gaining levels. We're at total level 200. That's pretty cool. And we're at combat level 45, so only 30 more levels to go before Konar will actually give us a task, and the whole game will just open up to us. It'll be great, trust me. Oh, very nice. So Mr. Rick Turpentine has given me a bit more cash. I can trade in my steel spear and get a myth one. It's about time. Just make sure I'm counting it correctly before I leave myself with no weapon at all, but yeah, that's plenty. One mithril spear please, and we can't do the comparison because I had to sell it, but I assure you that these bonuses are better. I will be hitting more and higher. Here's where we're at. We've got just over, what is it, 4 days? Yeah, just over 4 days playtime, and we've been a bit unlucky on the random events. We've got a few pieces of the clothing, so it's not all bad, but yeah, when it comes to getting money, we're a bit behind, but keep slogging on. We've got plenty of fishing random, so that's up to 20. But we've crested 50 combat, but we just need to keep hitting these bats. And look at that, a 7, max hitting of a 7. That's great. Next stop is getting enough for an Addy spear. Hey, so a little progress update. I'm almost at base 50 melee stats in combat, which is cool. That's combat level 60 out of the 75 that I need. But there's been a bit of a discovery in the Chunk chat Discord, which I'm now going to have to investigate. See, when you talk to Konar, it says, "Who are you?" Tells you who she is. You could serve the balance, but you'll need some practice. Now, I thought this was just a standard kind of dialogue that you would see, because I'm too weak. I need to be 75 combat. And she goes on to say, there's a Slayer Master in Berthorpe, go to Turiel, learn from him. Great. Other people in the Chunkers Discord have discovered that they are over 75 combat, and she's still saying go to Turiel. Now, that means they can't get a task. For me, it's the entire gimmick of this account, so I need to make an exception. So I'm going to do a bit of investigation, going to Turiel, once again leaving the Chunk, and seeing what's up. So I didn't end up going to Turiel right after that clip, but it was discussed in the Chunk Chat Discord about how this exactly works, because at the time it wasn't detailed in the wiki at all. So at the time of making this exception, I thought Turiel was the only way to progress and get Konar to pay attention to me. However, now it seems like Konar works similar to Cristelia, the Wilderness Slayer Master. She also doesn't give you a task until you've completed one for Turiel. But if you lamp your Slayer to 2, or do something like the Natural History quiz that raises your Slayer level, you can bypass that Turiel task. Now, if I'd known that at the time, I would have lamped Slayer to 2, but I didn't. So later on, you'll see me go and do that Turiel task. Account ruined, etc., etc. It is what it is. And an update on the money situation is that I got a Quizmaster the other day, so 1,000 of that stack that I was on the screen right now is straight from that. I've been very unlucky otherwise. I've barely had any coin apart from the one that I had to sacrifice a mystery box for, which was a shame, but you know, we keep going. I'm getting more of the random event costumes, that's kind of standard. We're up to 12 collection logs and we'll get plenty of lamps, so we're up to 4 agility already. Oh, there it is. We've had another Quizmaster. Got another 1,000 coins and we can finally upgrade the spear. I'm going to just buy it outright. We wouldn't have to sell the mithril spear back. So let's talk to our friend here. How much is an adamant spear? That is good. And we can get, lovely, 10 more strength, 7 to all our attack bonuses. And we can even sell this back now. We don't need that anymore. For a little bit of a rebate. And then the last upgrade is of course the rune spear at 20,000. That's a long time away. I think we're gonna get to that before we start leaving the chunk to go on our Slayer task. So I think when it comes to any future quizmasters, I will now be going straight to the mystery box and hopefully pick up some defensive upgrades. And we're just giving this thing a test drive. I was previously max hitting an 8, so I'll see if I can get a new max hit and see what that is. And beautifully, I just hit back-to-back 9s on that last bat, so I can confirm it is a 9 max hit. We've got a mystery box. Show me the steel plate. Runite bar? What? That's red drop table. No, I don't want that. God damn it. Another mystery box just a day after the last one. Clue scroll easy. Doomsayer. Completely useless. Okay. So now that money isn't such a massive consideration, I got my first maze random where I chose to do the thing where you open the chests on the way to the middle and just camp them. You can basically get 90 something opens of the chest, since if you lift the lid and wait, you will only reduce the timer by 1% every minute. So you can just sit there camping stuff. Even if your inventory fills up, it goes to the bank. And I've come away with a nice set of elemental runes, a bit of ammo and a load of potions. So they're going to be put in the bank and make a nice stash for future magic and range training. It's 2026 and we've got the first mystery box. Show me that steel plate. Casket. Ruby. Oh, that's not very good. The first mystery box where I didn't actually record anything, and it's the Mithril Scimitar. Now I don't know if this is going to be better, but looking at those stats I'm guessing no. But one thing it can do is train attack, strength, defense separately, which might be nice to have. So this is a win. It's not the steel plate that I was really looking for, but it's a nice weapon to have nonetheless. Once I hit this bat again for a decent amount, let's get 60 strength. And of course I whiffed 2 hits. But this one, surely. There we go, 60 strength. We can now wield Dragon Warhammers, wouldn't that be nice? Can I get a steel plate body? Never lucky. So coming up to the final few combat levels, I've been dipping into the food supplies, into the potion supplies, and they are going quickly. But I was also looking around the chunk to see what I have available. And I noticed barrels of mud, or barrels of muddy water, depending if you believe the description of the examine or the item itself. They're all over this mountain. And it got me thinking, certain barrels in the game, if you use a beer glass on them, you get beer out of them. And would you believe, if you use a beer glass on these, nothing happens. And with this bat kill, we can quickly bury some bones and get the first protection prayer on the account, and possibly the first protection prayer ever gained by someone only using bat bones. You never know. And here we are, it's the final bat. I have one more attack level to get and I will reach the coveted 75 combat, and finally Konar will talk to me. I just have to make sure I haven't messed this up. Yep, 13 XP. That's not quite enough, I'm one off, of course. Okay, but this time, for sure, this is the final bat. And I'll only need to get 1 hit, so I'll just do that and leave it alone. I'll leave you alone. The first bat, I'll leave it alone, I'll let you live. Thank you for getting me to 75 combat. So, all that we have to do now is walk up to Konar, get our task, and see where we are headed to. That is, of course, assuming she will actually give us an assignment. So, let's see. Is this enough? For you. There is a Slayer Master in Berthup. No, we can confirm. Konar will not give you an assignment if you don't already have one from Toriel. That's a shame. and I'll have to go do the walk of shame to Berthup now. It's the last exception, hopefully, that I have to make. Walk to Berthup, talk tutorial, do one task. Hopefully it's something minor. I will not keep anything of whatever the task is, and then we can come back and actually get going. Before I head off there, let's have a little look at the stats. So I reached 343 total. My stat range is 62 attack, 62 strength, 59 defense, and I reached 39 prayer. So I focused attack and strength once I got the scimitar, but I still wanted the defense levels to make myself a bit tankier. And obviously in the calculation for combat levels, attack and strength are worth more than defense and hit points, so that kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look a big deal, but I went for the easiest levels each time, so that's what reached 75 for me. It took me 6,855 giant bats, most of them flinched, a lot of them done in toe-to-toe combat, but a lot of time spent regenning health. So in total, that's 13 days, 5 hours on the account. What's that in pure hours? If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. That's 317 hours. That is just the pre-setup to get going. So what's the best way to get tutorial? It's probably games room, right? So yeah, I'll be teleporting into the Shameful Shadow Realm, and I'll let you know what task I get. Oh, this is awful. This looks terrible. I don't know why I'm walking either. To really double down on the shame. Oh, tar markers for my old accounts. Tutorial, my good man. I require one single task from you. Please let it be something like rats, so I can kill the lowest level thing with the least HP. Yes, can you teach me? Yes, please. Give me an assignment. Skeletons, 28 skeletons. Okay. I will go do that and find out the minimal disruption to my account way of doing that. So I've come down here to the drain or sewers. I thought it was the easiest place to probably get to. These are level 22 skeletons. They're fairly weak. I shouldn't have too much trouble killing 28 of them. And I'll leave all their drops on the ground, and we'll see how far my Slayer gets. And here's my final skeleton kill of the task. I had to get 7 Slayer, unfortunately, but it is what it is. You can't exactly swap out a tutorial task for anything else. But once I kill this one, my task will be complete. I can drop this, and let's make our way back to Konar and see if she will now finally give us a task. Whew, here we are. So, I'm actually a little bit nervous. It's almost like a little mini chunk roll, really, finding out where Konar's going to send me and where I might spend the next however long, we don't quite know yet. If I look into rewards, we can have a look at the list to see what's possible. So like I said, let's go through what I could get and what it would mean for the account. We've got Ankus at 11.3%. Their drops aren't that special, though they do have weapon poison which could be applied to my spear. Fire Giants at 20.4%. These exist in Mount Karuulm, so once they have boots of stone I have permanent access to these anyway, so they're no big deal. There's the Greater Demons at 15.9%. These have some armour upgrades, and the Ashes are nice, but like the Fire Giants, these exist in Mount Karuulm anyway. And then Hellhounds at 18.1% also exist in Mount Karuulm, but it'd be nice to spoon a smouldering stone. There's Calphites at 20.4%, and one day I might be strong enough to consider the Calphite Queen, but until then, these are just going to be an easy task. Finally, we've got Trolls at 13.6%, and there isn't anything interesting about Trolls, I'm sorry to say, they're just a filler task. So maths nerds might have been thinking, hey, that only adds up to 99.7. Where's the other 0.3? To which I say, shut up. In addition to what monster I get, there's also the RNG of the location. My assumption is every location is assigned equally, but honestly I have no idea how Konar figures this out. Ankus can be in 3 places: the Catacombs, the Stronghold Slayer Dungeon, or the stronghold of security at Barbarian Village. Barbarian Village is definitely the one to get here. That chunk has so many upgrades and unlocks that we need. The catacombs are worth mentioning because not only do they have tons of monsters to explore, it also has a bank within its boundaries, bypassing my typical 1 inventory smuggle limit. Fire Giants repeat the catacombs and Gnome Stronghold, but they add the Brimhaven, Giant's Den and Isle of Soul chunks as options. Greater Demons have a lot of the same areas, but also add the Chasm of Fire. This exists in the same chunk as Lizardman Shamans. I'd like a Dragon Warhammer, but maybe not yet. Hellhounds add Tavley and Witchhaven Dungeon to the possible chunks. I'll have to look into the drop tables a bit more, but Tavley could have a lot of good items for us. Calphites have 2 neighbouring chunks, the Cave and the Lair. The Lair has the Queen, while the Cave is a second task area that has a bank within it at the Shanty Pass. Trolls have Death Plateau, with special trolls there that can drop the Granite Shield. Mount Karuulm has bog standard trolls, and Keldgrim also has the same, but Keldgrim's attached to the City of the Dwarves, as well as the Dwarven Mine through the minecarts, so there's a massive area to explore if I can have a pickaxe by then. This is only really just touching the surface of everything. The possibilities are so expansive I've simply not had time to theorycraft everything that could happen. I also don't want to go full information overload, so I'll dive deeper once we actually get to visit these areas task by task. But that's enough yapping, let's see what I rolled. Right, enough milking, enough messing around. Konar, give me an assignment. Calphites in the Calphite Lair. Got any tips for me? Not really relevant. Where are they? Where is the Calphite Lair? Is it the one? I always mix these two up. One of them's very good, and one of them's not. And it's the left one, the Calphite Lair. This isn't very good, so it is what it is. It's a nice easy one to start with, so let's ease into the grind and go over there and begin our adventure. And there we go. I might have sounded a little let down with the Calphite Lair in the live clip, but believe me, I blew through that task quickly, and the adventure beyond got so much crazier. I hope you'll join me in the next episode of HydraChunk.